So we have studied about the different types of tissue. We have classified the animal tissue into four groups: epithelial, muscular, connective and nervous tissue. So now we will study in detail about the epithelial tissue. So we will study in detail about the epithelial tissue. What the epithelial tissues again can be classified into four groups: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelial tissue, columnar and striated. It is clear from its name. The first one is that is the squamous. They are made up of thin and flat cells. They are made up of thin and flat cells, and they are present at the esophagus, lining of mouth, alveoli, duct of alveoli or the blood vessels. In these organs it will be present. Since it is present in the outermost layer, you can say that. So this is the first layer, the tissue which makes the first layer. So of course its function will be protection and exchange of gases. Why exchange of gases is mentioned? Because alveoli is also included here. So exchange of gases occurs in the lungs. The next type of epithelial tissue is the cuboidal. Its cell type is cube-like, right? It is cubical shape, made up of cubical shaped cells, and here the nucleus will be also present in between at the center of the cell, and its occurrence will be near the kidney tubules or the salivary glands, or its function is secretion and absorption. Third type is columnar epithelial tissue, which is made up of tall and pillar-like cells. Here one thing you can notice, in the squamous epithelial tissues or the cells of the squamous epithelial tissue, the nucleus is at the center. In the cuboidal also the nucleus is at the center. But in columnar epithelial tissue, the nucleus will be present near the basement membrane of the cells, right? What the basement membrane? The membrane where the tissues originate or they are situated. So here this is one of the major difference between these two, among these all four. Nucleus will be present near the basement membrane in the columnar epithelial tissue. The fourth type is the striated, and again you can see it is clear from its name. Striated, stairs. The tissues are compactly arranged, and they are arranged in layers, different layers. So if the different layers are there, they make a protective wall-like structure, you can say that. So where they will be present, where the maximum chances of wear and tear is there, where maximum chances of damaging is there. So of course they will be present at the organs which is at the first line of defense is there. So like tongue, like skin, like esophagus, etc. So of course their function will be protection, and which will prevent from the wear and tear. So these are the four epithelial type of tissues which have been classified based on the type of tissue which make them, whether like these are the four parameters on which we have compared it, or you can say that these are the two main parameters, like cell type and what type of structure they have. So once just have a quick recap. Epithelial tissues are made up of four type of tissue: squamous, cuboidal, the third one is the columnar, and striated epithelial tissue. This first one, that is squamous epithelial tissues are made up of thin and flat cells. The nucleus will be at the center. The cuboidal tissues are made up of cube-like cells. There are cube-like cells. They are little bit bigger than and cuboidal in structure. The columnar cell, it is clear tissues, it is clear from the name, they are made up of column, pillar-like tissue. So they are long and thin and elongated cells. And here major difference, that is the remarkable also, the nucleus will be present at near the basement membrane of the cell. This makes it different from the other three one. The fourth one is the striated epithelial tissue, that is made up of flat cells but arranged in many layers. Of course it is also made up of flat and flat, but in a squamous epithelial tissue, single layer were there. I made here two just to explain it. But here, these are made up of thin and many layers of flat cells. Many layers of flat cells. And their occurrence, like coming to the occurrence where it will be present. So, squamous epithelium will be present at the esophagus, lining of the mouth, alveoli of the lungs, inside the blood vessels. So they are in the direct contact. So what will be the function? The function of these type of tissue will be protection as well as exchange of gases and helping in the exchange of different material like osmosis and diffusion with the help of osmosis and diffusion processes. Next one is the cuboidal. They are cube-like structures, so they are present in the kidney tubules, salivary gland, hence also known as glandular cells, glandular tissue, or some of the somewhere it is also written that it has a type, it is a separate type, that is the glandular. So if the cuboidal cells are there and secretory in function, we can add one more type of epithelial tissue, that is glandular tissue. So wherever the tubular part is there, tube part is there, kidney tubules are there, like they will be present in the kidney tubules, the cuboidal cells. And if it is present in the glandular part, we will say it's a glandular epithelial tissue like salivary gland. So here I have combined this one. Its function is secretion and absorption. The third one is the column. Again, it is doing the brooming action. It will be also present. It will be always present in the inner lining of intestine, respiratory tract, fallopian tube, where sensory part is required. Its function is secretion and absorption. Again, the fourth one is the striated epithelial tissue, that is flat cell and made up of, it is arranged in many layers. So these are the four types of the epithelial tissue. Now we will come to the connective tissue, the next second type, that is the connective tissue.